Welcome back to another video, guys. Now you can probably see in the background the weather is looking pretty fucking bad, so it's basically pissing it down all day in Sydney. It's grey as fuck, so I thought, why not film a video, drop some fucking sauce, because I've got nothing better to do, right? So this video is going to be non-scripted, but I do have some points that I want to talk over just so I don't forget and just go off on a complete tangent. I'm going to do more talking videos, more raw videos, but as you guys watch those videos from me, you're going to understand that once I get off on a tangent, there is genuinely no stopping me. We're 40 minutes out, I'm talking about the wrong thing. So this video is basically going to be going over how to make your first 10K. I think the main thing that I see happen a lot in this space and other spaces as a whole, when people put that goal that they want to get to, let's say 10K, 20K, etc., on a pedestal. They revolve everything around this goal. And they think that where they are right now is so far from where they want to go, which is, bro, you're not bridging the gap. You're making the gap feel even worse. Now, something for me when I started my journey was, where I'm at right now, I can't even imagine myself making 50K a month or 20K a month, right? That's where I was at. I couldn't even imagine and fathom what I would be like or what it would even feel like. Like, I couldn't even imagine that. A big part of the way that you're going to get yourself geared up to, make your goal, which is, 10, 15, 20, whatever that looks like for you, it's different for everybody. It might not even be a material goal. You want to step into who that person is. You want to step into, what does that person dress like? What does that person think like? What does that person talk like? What does that version of myself truly behave like? Because when you think about the person that it takes to hit that goal, you'll then understand what it takes for you to become that person to move closer towards that goal. So for me, keeping it super broad, I don't really have a financial goal in place, to be honest. For me, it's just freedom. I care a lot about freedom. The reason why I do what I do is for freedom. And I feel something that really makes me feel prideful and powerful is helping my family. And helping my partner, and just the whole thing of never having to worry. I don't want my family to worry, so that's a big thing for me. And I feel like I had to go through a lot of change, and I had to understand that I wasn't the person who was going to be making 200K, 100K. I was not that person right now. So I looked at myself and I thought, okay, where does the disconnect appear? What does that look like for me? Why am I not that person yet? And it was looking at what that person taught, like I said, changing the way that I was to become the person that will be doing these things. And I would say I'm pretty close to that person where I'm at right now. I'm never going to change aspects of myself to be false, to be not who I am, just so I can achieve this goal that I've got. But dressing in a certain way is something that I wanted to step into. Dressing more cleaner, more classy. Do you know what I mean? I love streetwear so much, and I wear streetwear all the time. I feel like that's a big part of my identity, but always in a tracksuit. Always in a tracksuit. And to me, it's look good, feel good, right? So dressing a bit more classy, dressing a bit up a little bit more, makes me feel more, I don't even know, just more presentable. And then you feel better about yourself, and then you feel better about your belly. I mean, that's how it works for me personally, right? I'm probably yapping. Other things I changed was how I respond to things, right? So for me, I looked at other people. Okay, so let's say, for example, let's say I'm at the version of myself that makes, 200K a month, right? This was 6 months ago. And I was having issues at work where things were going wrong and things were going completely, out of control. How I responded to that was not how my 200K self would respond to that. My 200K self would respond to that with precision, clear logic, no emotion, and just moving fast and getting things done. So I had to look at that and think, okay, that's who I want to be acting like. That's who I would be if I was in that position. Let's pivot from what I'm acting like right now, and let's change that. A lot of the way that you're going to have to change yourself to receive this goal, 10K, 20K, whatever that is from the way that you act, the way that you present yourself, the way that your mind works as a whole. A lot of the videos that I'm going to be posting soon, I'm going on holiday, I'm going to be not using Instagram, I'm going to be just spending time completely off. I'm going to have so much clarity from what I want to talk about in these videos, and they're going to be more mindset based. So that's one thing that's going to be coming to this channel, is more mindset based stuff that you can truly learn from and just straight up implement that have helped me. In this video, I want to talk more on also the mindset, but also the logistics of how you can get to that 10K, make your first 10K and use it as a stepping stone from that point, right? Now, I am reading off the fucking computer. I'm getting comments of people calling me guru drivel and all this fucking shit. I'm actually dropping stuff that you can implement. So if you want to go and comment that, or you want to go and take this as guru waffle or whatever, I'm dropping stuff. So either you implement it and you watch this and you implement it, or you don't and you don't learn. So it's completely up to you, because that horse shit and comments on my fucking channel, yeah, allow that. We're not running that. So the main thing I want to talk about is the main reason why people do not get to 10K and struggle to get to 10K from like 1, 2K, 3K a month is genuinely from not choosing a good niche. Now, I say this in all my videos. I don't mean niche down on one thing and directly be like, oh my God, like this is my niche, I'm sticking with this, and that's it. You want to be open, but your niche wants to fit a certain criteria. Now, I spoke about this in the video that I just filmed. So this will be up on the page before this one. So go watch that video where I speak about, it's the 20K video, right, where I'm saying how to make your first 20K. I'm talking about the niches, I'm talking about what the ideal client looks like, red flags, etc. Go and look at that and implement exactly what I say there. Now, that will tell you exactly what a good niche looks like, exactly how you can find out what a good niche is. As I said, I don't mean fucking, go on one niche and be like, oh, I'm sticking with this, I'm sticking with this. Have the niches that you're working with fit a certain criteria. They have longevity, for example. They can actually afford you. The business is going to be around in 12 months' time. They're not just clothing brands that are going to be dead within 3 months because the brand owner doesn't know how to run a business. And yeah, so much more that I've touched on in that video, so go watch that. But the businesses that you want to be targeting are people that actually need your services, right? So for me, I made a big pivot to working with more leads-based businesses. And the reason why is because they want more leads. They actively want more leads. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, gyms always want more signups. Gyms always want people signing on for personal trainers, even if it's a private personal trainer, right? Like my online personal trainer that I go to, I could go and run ads for him and have him get signups, get paid, get clients on board, and that's solely online. So there's no kind of bottleneck to what he can take. It's the same with in-person PTs and gyms. Their goal is to get leads, come in and deliver them what they want, and it is so easy to close them rather than chasing them for an outcome that they're not even that bothered about. And they need leads to survive. Like their whole business is based on, are people coming through the door? Are people signing on to this gym? Are people signing on to my personal training package that's, 1K, 2K? Because if they're not doing that, they've got no business. And a lot of the time, like in situations when I've worked with businesses, and now obviously I've got a background in organic marketing, and obviously I've got paid, which I added to my agency. So what I've learned over time is businesses don't care about engagement or social media marketing or views or likes or anything like that. They care about the logistics. They care about the outcomes of what you're doing for them. And this all ties into the offer and the frame of how you're gonna basically state to the business, to the client, what you're gonna do for them, right? Now, tying into what I said, that they don't care about engagement, likes, all that, they care about leads. Who is bringing money to the door? How many people are coming through the door? What does that actually look like? That's their main focus, is either sales or leads. Tying into the offer and the way that you frame this, right? I see a lot of people doing, 15% of sales will do a trial, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If that works in an e-commerce niche, absolutely fantastic. I've got clients on the offer for my agency for 15, 10% of sales. It definitely varies, and that's a good model. Let's say for something like leads, let's say if you came into the process and you said, let's circle back to my PT, right? So let's say if I said to him, look, I'll get you 15 book calls a month for the first month, or you don't pay me a single cent. The price point will be $500 a month, let's say. And if I don't get you 15 book calls, you do not pay me for absolutely anything at all. You don't pay me a single cent of the retainer. You just don't. Again, this is a good guarantee. This is a good offer, but it directly is tying into what they're getting from you. So the way you frame your offer, instead of being, 15% of sales, no risk, no this, go in with a strong guarantee if you feel like you can commit to that. And test out trials, test out free trials, of course, to get yourself comfortable with running ads. But when you feel comfortable enough, start experimenting and playing around with the offer that you've got. I wouldn't go down the route of saying, we'll get you 15 new clients this month, because at the end of the day, you're only bringing the company leads. Now, the company will close the leads in their own way. Let's circle back to the example of my PT. I could give him 300 leads in a month. Let's say, for example, he takes 300 booked calls. He closes 3 of them calls. That's because the closing is bad, not because the delivery of leads by myself is bad. So you need to present the offer from a perspective of, we'll give you this amount of booked calls, we'll give you this amount of qualified prospects. Like, it can be so wide, it's crazy. Like, I can't even get into the rabbit hole of how wide this can be. Like, one of my mentees, she runs ads for a company that basically does like people's wills, like pre-built wills. So obviously when you pass away, you leave your will, whatever you've got, you give to whoever, you write that out. She basically runs lead ads for a company that sells wills and brings them qualified prospects who want their will written out for them, right? And you probably sit here thinking, nah, that's crazy. There's no demand for that. Nah, everybody needs a will. Everybody will have a will. And this is like a done-for-you will system, right? So it's easy, it's simple. It's gonna reel in the audience because it's just so simple and easy, and you need it. And that is a random niche that, had you sat here and told me that my mentee was doing wills when people pass away, I'll probably laugh in your face and say, nah, that's a load of rubbish. Think outside of the box. You don't have to just go with clothing or this or that or what everybody else is doing. Think outside of the box and think of the best guarantee and the best offer you can get them. Pause. That is realistic for what you can deliver them. There's no point giving them guarantees that are up here. Your guarantee could be so amazing. But if you're constantly having to refund people or not get paid or, go through that process of actually using the guarantee that you've got in place, that's when it starts to get annoying for you, right? Because you're having to double back. Now you're not getting paid. It needs to be realistic. Again, having a good offer is imperative. The offer is the way you're going to grab attention. The offer is the way that you're going to make people proceed. If someone told me an offer that was, I'm going to get you X amount of book calls or you don't pay, well, I want the book calls. And I'm not paying him if he doesn't do it. So of course I'm going to do it because it's a no-brainer. It's the easiest offer in the book to do because it is simply a no fucking brainer. Why would I say no to that? I just wouldn't. The next thing that is super important to dial in to get you to that 10K month mark is super consistent outreach. And what I mean by that is you want volume. 70 DMs per day, every single day. If you're doing, let's say for example, outside of the e-com niche, you're going for leads, you want to be smashing the cold calls, you want to be smashing in-person outreach. The main thing that I see people always going on about is they're doing the volume, but what they're saying isn't good. The way they're speaking to the prospect is putting them off. The way they're speaking to the prospect is making them standoffish. It sounds scammy. One of the biggest things that I noticed that I want you to implement from this video is speak with conviction. Whenever you're pitching the prospect, whenever you're talking in DMs, whenever you're sending a voice note, whenever you're saying anything to this prospect, speak with so much conviction, like you've been in the field for 10 fucking years. Confidence is everything. I was closing clients when I didn't even know how to do the fucking service just because of how confident I sounded and the way I was handling my approach. And the way I see things as well is you're not going to know every single inch of the business model at the start. They might ask you questions that you don't know the answer to. They might ask you things that throw you off a little bit. I mean, I remember being on call and they'd ask me some questions and I'd be like, to be honest with you, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. And obviously I didn't say that. I just was my internal monologue thinking, I don't know how to answer this. Dance around the question, appear confident. The more confident you appear, the less they genuinely clock on to the fact that you're startled by a question and you don't know the answer. Play it off. You will learn by doing. And I'm not saying, go in there and tell them this is your 10th client and you know what you're doing. Be transparent with where you're at. But if they sense that you're uncomfortable, you don't have, the knowledge that they expect, they're gonna fall back. They're gonna bring in resistance because they cannot trust you. One of the biggest things I would say to fast track to 10K a month to make it as easy as possible for you would be building a personal brand. The easiest way, and I think the reason why I had such a leg up in obtaining clients for paid was because I had a personal brand. I'd already slightly posted content previously for my organic agency. I'm pretty sure I was posting on TikTok about my journey as well. And I pretty much shown everything from zero on TikTok. Now, I hadn't really stepped into Reels too much, but I had the proof of concept there. I had good followers, my account was aged, and I was documenting what I was doing. The best advice that I could probably give right now is document your full process and be transparent and honest. Be raw and honest. If you're failing to sign a client, document it. Be honest. Don't be afraid of that. There's so many people who are in the same position as you who are going through the same thing but are too scared to pick up the camera and show the honest reality. If I lost my business tomorrow, I mean, touch wood, I won't, and I had no money, I would still pick up the camera, vlog this, and vlog myself building up from zero. Because everything that you're ever worried about going through, or everything bad that you could go through, someone has been through before, but they're too scared to pick up the camera. Lean into the struggle of learning, lean into showing the raw reality in the process, and people will have so much more respect for you. That's why I'm getting into vlogging, showing the true process, showing more of myself, showing more of how I feel, being honest with my feelings in front of the camera. Because at the moment I do a lot of sit downs, I do a lot of implementation, but I want you guys to know raw on the back end what it is like having an agency. Because you guys will get to know me so much more, and it will highlight the process so much more for you on the true reality of what it actually looks like to run an agency. In terms of personal branding, I would say document with Reels, document with YouTube, day in the lives, talk about where you're at, talk about your mindset, talk about what you're learning, build a community around yourself, right? Because the more you document your wins and the more you document the process, the more conviction that you have. So when someone searches out your name on Instagram, YouTube, etc., they can see that you've gone through a full process. They can see that you've been in the space X amount of time. They can see that you've learned all these different things that you can implement, and they will like that. They will feel comfortable knowing that you're out there sharing your journey, learning, and it just gives you so much proof of concept, so much social proof. Someone with zero social proof and zero results over someone with social proof and results that are climbing up there, you're obtaining results slowly. This person right here is more likely by a mile to sign a client than someone who is not sharing their journey and has nothing on there. And it doesn't have to be pick up the camera every waking minute of your life and become a fucking influencer and a content creator. It's just more so showing those points, like the wins, the low points. Just being raw in front of the camera will get you so far with a personal brand. And step out your comfort zone with it too. Like for me, it's not natural for me to want to bring out a camera, talk to the camera, vlog, stuff like that. It's so unnatural. It took me ages to even get confident in front of the camera. And I think like even now, I mean, you guys might watch this and think I'm confident in front of the camera. Nah, that's not the case. And you would never know from the way I guess the way I present myself. But everybody is always going to be nervous. No one's ever going to be super comfortable in front of the camera. I fucking hated picking up the camera. So prevail through feeling uncomfortable is the biggest thing I'll say with personal branding. Put yourself out there. Showcase that you're a real person. Showcase that you're really trying to build something and get somewhere. And people will value that and respect that. I think being honest with the prospect and, letting them into what you're building and the process and stuff like that will have them trust you way more than if you were just like, a picture of your face on the website, picture of your face on Instagram, no post. They don't know anything about you. They're not connecting with you on that level to trust you. Ultimately, the biggest thing that you want with the people that you're working with and the people you're outreaching to is trust. Trust is the most important part. And see, this is at the point where you start to build authority through personal branding. A lot of the clients I've got, and I think a lot of the reason why I have grown the agency as far as it is because of social proof, because I have documented quite a lot. I've not documented as much as I would want to. I want to show everything. I want to show inside client accounts, revenue that we did this weekend. I want to share all of that stuff. I think for me, it was like I wasn't too comfortable with putting everything out there. I'm very worried about evil eye. I'm very worried about, for me, materialism. I just can't stand it. Every time I open my phone, it's this person, this material, this. It's just, it genuinely burns my head out. So I wanted to kind of step away from having that in my content. But at the same time, I want to show off the social proof. I want to show what I've built. Do you know what I mean? Why not? Because I'm proud. So finding that happy medium for you and showcasing the true, raw reality is going to help you land clients 110%. Whilst you're obviously building your personal brand and showcasing these things, you're going to want to obtain the first 1 to 2 clients, right? And it's going to be a rinse and repeat from here. So this video is going over 0 to 10K, how we're going to get you to 10K quickly. Personal branding is going to help that. Now, you want to leverage the social proof. You want to obtain 2 case studies. You want to over-deliver and overextend yourself within the first 30 days for the 1 to 3 clients that you land so that they retain and stay with you. And now you've got the base point of a reliable ecosystem, right? You've got 3 clients, you've got 2 clients, they're retaining next month. As long as you deliver for them and keep the client happy, they're going to keep retaining. Once you have got the social proof, the 1 to 2 case studies, present them in a nice way. Showcase the businesses, what you're going to do for them and what you learned from this and how you can implement it. You show them directly what you're going to do for them so they know and they have trust. It becomes way easier to sign people once you have that sort of, information of what you've done and what you can do. And then from there, it's essentially just a rinse and repeat. Focus on delivery heavily so that you have the retaining clients and you're learning how to deliver. But to get to, let's say, for example, you've got 3 clients that are at 1K each, you're at 3K. You only need to 3x, just over 3x, what you're doing at that point. And now how would you do that, right? You have the retaining clients. Let's say they're with you for 1 month. You then start to explore other options with them. You might offer to run their email. You might offer to run their SMS. Well, that's another 15% that you've got. Or you might run their, redo their website and manage it for them for a fee every month, right? Now that's another upsell. The more proof of concept you build with the clients that you've got, the more likely they are to let you add on other things to what you're doing with them. So for me, right, let's say when I first started paid, I started off with just offering paid, nothing else. 1 month in, 4 weeks of good work where things have been going smoothly. I then started to implement, okay, so looking at what we've got right now, I feel like SMS would really benefit you. Let's take a call, let's go over it and see if this is something that I can help you with. And of course, every single time, because you've built that trust already, they already work with you. They're gonna let you run the SMS or email if you've shown them good work in the first 4 weeks. And adding upsells is how I basically just made my retainers hold more value. You want to have less clients, more quality rather than quantity. There's no point having, 27 clients, right? And it's at 10K, 29 clients and they're all low value and you're doing a lot of work for them. You want to have less clients, quality clients that you can add upsells to build out what you have, right? And let's say, for example, I know I mentioned earlier in the video, if you 3x what you had, right? Let's say you add an upsell to every single client, and then you got 3 more clients that you were just doing Facebook with. Then you integrated something else, SMS or email. That is the easiest way to get to 10K. Build a solid report. Get the case studies that you need. Build a social proof. Build a personal brand, right? And then from there, the main thing is just rinse and repeat. You get those clients, they retain. You see options for upsells. You diversify what you're offering them. The more you build out your case studies, the easier it is to pitch, the easier it becomes to sign clients, the easier it becomes to sign higher quality clients. And then from there, as I said, it's a rinse and repeat. Obviously, over time, you want to raise prices. So let's say, for example, you start in, your first 3 clients you've got, you're doing $500. After those 3 clients, let's move it up to 800. After we've obtained some more clients and we're still consistently delivering for people, that's the most important part. You're delivering for people. You're not just raking out the prices for bands and you're not even making them money, and it's just fucking silly. Once you're building a rapport with delivering good results, up that price, and that 500 could go to 1K. And because they feel comfortable with the results that you're showcasing them, yeah. But you know what? Yeah, I'll let you do my email as well. That is exactly what I mean by rinse and repeat, but up the prices slowly and add and diversify what you as an agency can offer. That's the most important thing. In my opinion, the hardest part is getting to a point where you have retaining clients that will stay with you. It's difficult initially to find retaining clients and high quality clients. And then building out the process and the systems once you get to that point where you're like, right, I'm bottlenecked. I've got a lot. That is the next, I would say that's the next point of hardship that you're going to go through. The biggest struggle at the start is finding good clients, getting them on and retaining them. Then you retain for a while and the next minute, I'm bottlenecked. I can't run these clients all myself. This is an absolute nightmare. That's how you would go from 0 to 10K in super, super simple terms. I'm going to be dropping longer breakdown videos. I might be jumping on the Miro board, start getting a bit techie with the advice that I give rather than these long videos. But yeah, more videos coming soon. We've got vlogs, we've got more teaching. If you guys have any ideas of anything you want me to implement in these videos, let me know. My DMs are always open as well for questions. If anything crops up while watching this video or anything at all you're not sure about, hit my DMs. My DMs are very flooded, but I will try to reply whenever I can. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Drop a subscribe if this was helpful. And as I said, DMs are always open and I've got you guys.